This is KGW News at 11.
Hello and welcome to KGW News at 11. I'm Joe Ranieri. Tonight I'm joined by Sarah Bagley, who's going to be joining us. You're going to be seeing this face here a little more, doing a little help with the vacation relief and what have you. So it's good to have you aboard tonight.
Thank you, Joe. It's good to be here. I always wanted to be at KGW next to you.
Well, thank you. And you grew up here in the Pacific Northwest in the Portland area, so it's good to be having you with us, I should say. But as we look at the forecast real quick, Sarah, we are going to be seeing some light showers. That's what we're picking up right now. And the temperatures are going to be dropping just above freezing later on tonight and into tomorrow. So there could be some slick roads out there on your Sunday morning. So be aware of that. We're also picking up a little bit of some snow showers on the radar, very light amounts. Again, if you're 500 feet and higher, you could be seeing some of these snow showers out there tonight. But this is the front that's going to be moving on shore tonight and into your Sunday, bringing in some cooler conditions. Although we're slowly inching up to where we should be for this time of year, which is about the mid 50s. Still a little bit of long ways to go. About 7 degrees shy of it earlier tonight with temperatures this afternoon in the upper 40s for your temperatures and right around the mid 40s along the Oregon coast. So the cold air is going to be staying in play over the next couple of days. It doesn't look like we'll be seeing any warm up or any little taste of spring anytime soon. Rainfall amount since midnight, close to a quarter of an inch at the Portland International Airport on the west end of the gorge. Just about a tenth of an inch over in Troutdale, and just trace amounts over in Hood River throughout parts of the I-84 area, and almost an inch of rain has fallen along parts of the central Oregon coast. As we go to your hour-by-hour forecast, here we are tomorrow morning. We're going to be looking at a little bit of some cloudy skies, but mainly dry heading into the afternoon. There could be a spotty shower that pops up throughout the later part of the afternoon. And heading into Monday, earlier in the show, or early in the evening, I was telling you there's a chance we could be seeing some snow showers. Those snow showers are still in the forecast, but they're going to be a little bit lighter. I'll talk more about that in just a few minutes. Thank
you, Joe. A pedestrian was hit and killed by a car in northeast Portland earlier tonight. The crash happened shortly before 6:30 this evening. It happened at the intersection of Northeast Sandy Boulevard and Northeast 102nd Avenue. Portland police say the pedestrian died at the scene and the driver involved stayed. The major crash team is investigating. Now, this is the 4th pedestrian fatality of the year, and it's the 8th traffic fatality, according to PBB reports. Also in Portland, a victim was shot, and authorities are looking for the suspect. The shooting happened at Southwest 15th and Alder at about 12:15 a.m. Portland police responded to the sounds of shots that they heard in the area, and then they saw the victim drive off. The victim went to the hospital, was treated for the gunshot wound, and will be okay. The need for housing in the state of Washington continues to grow. Governor Jay Inslee announced more than 1 million homes need to be built to support housing needs over the next 20 years. The Building Industry Association of Clark County, which represents more than 12,000 people in the construction industry, just broke ground on this year's Parade of Homes. Now we have Brian Clerkley joining us right now. He is live. How's it going, Brian? I hear that these high interest rates are not necessarily going to be affecting the demand. Is that correct?
Yes, Sarah, demand is still high, especially in Clark County. And one builder says that people are using more cash so they don't have to take out those high interest loans. A groundbreaking for Clark County's longest running new home show, now in its 45th year. This year, the Parade of Homes is in the Ashbury development in Philida, a neighborhood in Vancouver. The Building Industry Association and GROW, the Vancouver-based landscape company, are hosting the event this year. As 30-year mortgage rates have hit 13-year highs, some builders say buyers are doing whatever they can to avoid taking a loan.
If those buyers have the option to use cash to buy, that they're doing that now instead of borrowing money for the higher interest rates.
The Washington State Department of Commerce says more than 1 million homes need to be built to support housing needs over the next 20 years. That requires about 50,000 homes built each year. The homes in this neighborhood are luxury, but the Building Association says all types of homes are needed in Clark County.
A lot of the affordable housing is already out there. It's been out there for 20, 30 years. So if you don't build more housing, what do? You artificially inflate the cost of the existing housing.
These homes will be decked out with the latest fixtures and features. Builder Tony Marnella, owner of Marnella Homes, says they aren't seeing a downturn in home buying because of high interest rates.
And so to have interest rates in the 6 and 7% range historically is actually pretty normal.
And the Parade of Homes starts September 8th and goes till September 24th. And just a reminder, if you are in the market for buying, but you're seeing those high interest rates, there are some programs you can apply for that can help lower your payments. You can talk with a local realtor or lender. Sarah?
Thank you, Bryant. Clatsop County is part of the recent expansion for Governor Tina Kotek's emergency declaration on the homeless crisis statewide. Now, Kotek made this declaration shortly after taking office, but Clatsop and other coastal counties say they were unfairly left out. The declaration only applies to places where the homeless population increased by 50% or more between 2017 to 2022. Now, Clatsop County says it's seen the highest rate of people who are homeless per capita in Oregon for the past 8 years, but that didn't appear to be enough to qualify. The county is submitting a formal request to be included, and Lincoln County is also trying to do the same. Food banks across Oregon are in dire need of support as more people face food insecurities. Governor Tina Kotek is urging the legislature to allocate millions of dollars to help. This week, SNAP benefits through the federal COVID-19 food assistance program has ended, and Oregon families who relied on the extra money for food are asking for help at local food banks. The Oregon Food Bank says it's facing its own challenges just to keep the shelves stocked.
We are going through the highest rates of hunger that this country has seen since the Great Depression, since the 1930s. So 90 years ago was the last time we were at these rates of hunger. It was driven by the pandemic, the economic recession that came after the pandemic, then inflation, and the drawback of government benefits that were meant to help during the pandemic that are happening right now.
Governor Kotek is asking feds for $7.5 million as a grant to support the Oregon Food Bank. And the food bank says this is the amount that would get them just through at least June.
I'm really glad that we get to be able to do this because I know it's going to help people. I actually feel like people are being very generous by doing this.
And that is the Scouts Pack. They are going around collecting food for local food banks. It's all part of the annual Scouting for Food program, which benefits the KGW Great Food Drive. Now, hunger is worsening as food and housing prices rise and pandemic emergency assistance ends. As many as 1.5 million people are expected to seek emergency food assistance through the Oregon Food Bank network this year. Now, one way that you can personally help with this food shortage is through the annual KGW Great Food Drive, which is happening right now. All you have to do is make a donation at kgw.com/food drive, or you can drop off physical donations at any local Toyota dealership. We also want to make sure to thank Rivermark Community Credit Union and Safeway for supporting this year's drive.